we're seeing RJ Barrett take that third-year leap. The leap that I thought he was going to take all along. I pushed back on it a little bit because I saw how he was being used the first couple of games, and I couldn't believe it. We were winning, so I didn't care that much. But now, RJ, this is the first time in his career where he's had 5 straight games where he has had 20 points or more. 20 against the Bulls, 35 against the Pelicans, 27 against the Raptors, 23 against the Pacers, and 20 against the Bucks. He's averaging 19.2 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 40% from 3. The Knicks are 3-2 in those games. They have lost to the Raptors and Pacers. Like I said, the Knicks played down to their competition, and the question is RJ's increased offensive role hurting or helping the Knicks? And in my opinion, it's helping. It can only help them. I know we're 3-2 in those games where RJ has gone off, but the reason for that is because the Knicks played down to their competition. I don't know what it is, but they just played down to their competition versus Orlando, versus the Pacers. We lost those games at the Garden, at home. Defensively, our energy isn't there. Randall, it feels like when he's not in the offense as much as he usually is, he's disinterested on defense and on offense. He kind of shrugs, and you can see the body language, and it's kind of contagious. The Knicks this year have the second best offensive rating, the 21st worst defensive rating, the 8th best net rating. Kemba Walker, we know he's not a good defender. And I think the addition of him is making the team having to make up for him, right? Because the defensive scheme isn't as sound because these defenders aren't as good. I think Fournier has been giving fantastic effort. But teams hunt down Kemba and Randall. They put them in pick-and-roll situations. They hunt them down, and they get picked apart. Randall has not been that good of a defender this year as well. You know, if it wasn't for this big-time game against the Bucks where he had 30-plus, I'm talking about Randall completely differently today. But because he went off against them, I got to ease down. Even though in that game, I think Derrick Rose was a hero in that game. He was the reason we won that game. Like, I'm just going to say that straight right now.
Absolutely.
But the Knicks have to get better defensively, and I think they will because Tom Thibodeau is our coach. He's a defensive mastermind and genius. We have to stop playing down to our competition because like Tibbs said, every team in the East is damn good. We can't take an off night against Cleveland. We can't take an off night against Indiana, against Toronto. We have to bring our A game every single night, and I think that's something that the Knicks aren't doing right now. But once we figure it out, we'll be fine. We'll be one of those top teams in the Eastern Conference, and there's still a lot of things wrong, right? Kemba, Julius getting attacked on the pick and roll. Emmanuel quickly hasn't shot well at all this season, but we'll figure it out. And RJ Barrett improving this year and taking that third-year leap is only going to make our ceiling that much higher. I'm glad that I'm sitting here talking about RJ averaging close to 20 instead of Kemba averaging close to 20 or Kemba averaging Fournier averaging close to 20. I'm glad it's RJ because I told y'all he's a star in the making. He's going to be a star. There's no doubt about it. Number 9, going to get his jersey. We're going to the Knicks at Next in Barclays. I'm wearing RJ's shirt out there. You know how it is. RJ Barrett all day. He's my guy.
So I want to say it's a good and bad thing. I want to say it's a bad thing because you mentioned it. Their defensive rating has been sketchy this season at least. And I say it's a bad thing because I don't want RJ using all his energy on offense and coming back defensively. And obviously RJ is still amazing defensively, but he won't have that same drive that he would normally if he just has to focus on the defensive side of the ball. And we saw earlier in the season when he just focused primarily on defense, they were having success and they were winning games. So that's why I say it's a bad thing. Now, for the obvious reason why it's a good thing, you drafted RJ Barrett, number 3, to be the franchise-changing player that you guys were hoping he would be. And that breakout game, 36 points, what more could you have asked for, truthfully? That's just everything that Knicks fans have been dying to see from RJ Barrett, and he was phenomenal, and he's been phenomenal these last stretch of games. You want to see RJ improve his jump shot. You want to see RJ start taking it to that right hand. You want to see RJ start being aggressive, driving the basketball to the hoop, not being afraid to go to the line. Once he starts getting that confidence, then it'll be a much more seamless transition of, all right, I'm gonna still be the same defensive beast that I know that I am, one of the better defenders in the NBA, probably the best defender on my team, and still be able to go and get you 20 points per game. Because when you're drafted number 3, you still have that expectation on you. And Knicks fans are cutthroat. They want to see these guys that they draft at such a high position be the superstar players that we see other teams draft highly and still go and average 24 or 25 points per game. RJ Barrett, if he's going to continue to improve that jump shot, I do believe he could average 20 clean a season. We saw it last season. What did he average? 18 points per game, and that was without a consistent jumper and still a shaky right hand. Once he starts to become more confident in that right hand, once he starts to put the ball on the ground consistently, we'll start to see this RJ Barrett that we've been seeing these last stretch of games. And that's only going to benefit the Knicks. Because right now, you look at it as stands. They have Julius Randle, who's averaging 21 points per game. You have RJ averaging just under 20. Then after that, you have Fournier averaging 15. D-Rose averaging 12. Kemba averaging 12. And after that, Alec Burks averaging 7. They need this offensive output. And it's a shame that it's going to cost RJ a little bit defensively. But as of right now, you need the offense. So why not just let RJ, if he's going to be hot, keep riding the hot hand? You got to, at this point at least. And it's only going to help his confidence.
You're making good points, but I don't like that point you made about RJ not being as invested on the defense side of the ball.
Okay.
RJ is a dog.
He is.
He's going to be invested on both sides.
Same. We don't want him to get a little bit tired.
RJ,
he's a lot to put on his shoulders.
He don't get tired.
Right.
It's RJ Barrett.
Okay, fair
enough. He
don't
get tired.
Are you going to be Riv and hate on RJ Barrett?
I think RJ Barrett's a pretty good player. I think that it's acceptable for him to be the second scoring option. I mean, he was the number 3 overall pick. Obviously, right now, Julius Randle's coming off that All-NBA season. It's his team. He's still the best player on the team. But like I said, I think for this team to go to the next level, you need RJ Barrett to give you 19-20 a game. The defense has been incredible this year. And about that shooting point, RJ Barrett shot 40% from the 3 last year too. So he was a good shooter last year too. He's shooting what's his percentage from 3?
40% from 3.
So he's continuing that. I don't think it's taken away from the Knicks offense. I agree with you. I mean, they lost to the Raptors, they lost to the Magic. It's playing down to the competition. The Knicks are a good team. But I agree with you. It's better having RJ Barrett average at 19-20 points per game than it is for Evan Fournier, than it is for Kemba Walker, because then that would mean that they're exceeding their roles that I think was assigned for them. I think this team is built for Julius Randle to be the number 1 guy, but this team is built for RJ Barrett to be the second option. And the reason I like those acquisitions in the offseason with Kemba and Evan Fournier is because if RJ Barrett is playing at that level and you got Evan Fournier giving you 16, you got Kemba giving you 12, you got Derrick Rose giving you anywhere from 12 to 15 off the bench, this team's really dangerous on all aspects of basketball, defensively, offensively. I'm not really worried about the defensive rating in their rankings right now. Tom Thibodeau is a defensive guru, one of the best defensive coaches that this game has seen. I think the Knicks will turn it around. But, yeah, I like the fact that RJ Barrett is definitely averaging 20 points per game this year. I think if this team, like I said, wants to be good, he has to continue that. I want to see this scoring output along with defense into the playoffs. I want to see what this is going to do for the Knicks, because last year he was an inconsistent second option in the playoffs, and it showed. The Knicks couldn't really get anything going offensively with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. First time for RJ Barrett in the playoffs. I think this year coming in, he's going to be much different. I like the fact that he's been improved defensively. I've been watching him defensively this season. He's absolutely locked in. He's young enough and has enough energy that I think he can give you 20 points per game and still lock in on the defensive end. I'm not really worried about that. But like I said, I agree. I like RJ Barrett being the second scorer of this team. It's fitting for him. He's the second best player on this team. Second best player. You want him to give you that 19, 20 points per game. You want him to be the second scorer behind Julius Randle. So I like that RJ Barrett's been defensively this season has been amazing. Offensively, he's getting better. His 3-point percentage is staying around 40%, so that means that that's becoming a consistent part of his game. So I think the Knicks will be fine. I agree with you, Joel. I think RJ Barrett being that second scoring option is going to benefit the Knicks.
We beat the Bucks. I'm not too gassed about it because Middleton was out, Lopez was out, Drew Holiday was on the minutes restriction. I'm not too gassed about it. Whatever. It is 20. What it is.
Yeah, you got to be gassed about the comeback. The comeback was amazing.
I'm gassed about the comeback, definitely, and I'm gassed that we beat another I guess, solid team in the East because they still had Giannis. Giannis is still an MVP player. We know that. RJ Barrett has improved this game so much. Coming out of college, can't shoot. Shooting 40% from three right now. The next step in his game was to not only become an all-world defender, become a better ball handler, a passer, and create more off the dribble. RJ Barrett has been really good off the dribble this season.
He has been.
He can create for himself now. It's fluid. You see these step backs, these side steps. Drew Hamlin, his trainer, he said that RJ Barrett is the only player he's seen that's made such a drastic improvement in their shooting percentage, 3-point percentage from one year to the next. RJ Barrett. The reason for that is because RJ is a lion. He's a hard worker, and he's not going to back down from any challenge, and that's just, it is what it is.
He talks like he knows this guy.
No, I'm laughing because I love the analogies. I love the quote. That was fire.
RJ's not backing down for nobody. He wants to be the king, and he's going to be the king in New York eventually. Right now, it's King Julius Randle. Like you said, is his team.
No.
But RJ is getting better off the dribble. Next step is to get a better handle. He's going to do that. You know, he's going to add to his game. That right hand, I've been seeing it this year.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think he's good enough with his right hand. He could cook with it. I think, he's that good this year. So, RJ Barrett. We're gonna talk about players in the most improved player category in these upcoming topics. But RJ is definitely up there. He's probably not one of the favorites to win the awards because we have Ja and Bridges and even Hero and Cole Anthony doing their thing. But RJ deserves a lot of credit. And like I said, he's been the most disrespected player in the league for a while, being left off all these lists. He's just silencing his doubters. He was the first ranked player in the country out of high school for a reason.
Over Zion.
Yeah, he was the third overall pick for a reason. He's RJ Barrett.